disillusioned world can use to bring back that gleam and excitement in their eyes? Because there's a lot of disillusionment, and they are sort of dissatisfied and get depressed quite easily. How can they be excited about a butterfly flying or something outside in the window? It's difficult today.
Yeah, so it's being a father of a teenager and so I can relate to some of these questions and these thoughts. I think one simple thing that has served me very well, and I have seen a lot of, and my fellow panelists can add to it, is it's about giving quality time to these young leaders. One of my leader, Upendra Singh, used to say, your success is directly proportionate to the amount of time you spend with your team. And I think we need to extend that direct proportionate time to the younger minds as well. We are not doing enough discussion. We are actually directing them to do what we want them to do. And that's where I want to change the dialogue from directing to mentoring, and from mentoring to coaching. So coaching is, where you don't offer them a solution, where you encourage them to find a solution. And mentoring is where you are actually directing them politely and giving them some answers. I think we need to dabble between the two, and in places where we believe that we need to do more of questioning rather than directing, I think that's where we can find some answers. And it has, believe me, it has worked very well for me. I've validated this with several leaders while writing the book. In fact, I've dedicated a chapter on coaching and mentoring within the book itself. So that's where the answers are.
We'll definitely look forward to that, and I'm sure a lot of points to be taken there. Coming to the last question, because we are running, we have to be in time, and we need to keep questions open for the audience. So can we continue? Because Dr. Parikh, what would your suggestions be in the form of simple exercises of the mind, where the child can discover himself and look at himself, herself more positively?
So I think a couple of things that come to my mind first. We use the word failure a lot, and I fundamentally believe there are no failures. These are experiences and learnings. You may have got 5 on 100, that means you achieved 5. Now let the goal be 10 or 12, and then it can be a 30 or a 40. But don't take the 5 away from you. Now that's how you need to understand. You may come third in the World Cup. That does not mean you weren't good enough. On some day, coincidentally, somebody played a bit better than you. That doesn't take your greatness away from you. When it comes to the basic things young people can do, one, recognize your individuality, express it, unmute yourself, and express yourself without hesitation. Second, you were mentioning the butterflies. Fact is, there are butterflies, and there is a sky out there, and there is a sport field out there, and there is color and clay and art and music and so much more. There is a lot more that is outside that one screen. There is a lot more that is outside that one table and chair. And there is a lot more than a textbook, and even a lot more than an examination. How do you balance? That's on you, but just express yourself.
Thank you, Dr. Parikh. That was very useful, because as a school principal, I always get asked by parents, my children whilst traveling in the car, they don't want to look out. When they go on holidays and vacations, they don't want to see the sunrise. They can just see it. And I mean, earlier Google was there, and now Chat GPT is there. So Chat GPT is far superior to Google, and children are into the AI world. So that's why we need a lot of these basic things which can excite and stimulate children. But I have a common question for each of you. Stories is the best way that one can relate. And we all have grown up listening to other stories. But let's start with you, Dr. Khurana. Can you share an inspiring story which brought about a twist in your path, some inspiring story motivational, which brought you here where you are today?
There are too many, and as you know, there are too many paths I've taken. So there will be multiple stories. I think we leave the focus to these gentlemen. But what is interesting is, and this is really from a chapter in my book called Mentoring for Adversity. So post-pandemic, and Dr. Parikh is here, but I'm aware of a 2018 psychological review in America that talks about the impact of the recent times on Gen Z. And I think typically that is a generation that needs a great deal of hand-holding. And I have what is known as a funda in the book, that the quality of your mentors depends on the quality of their stories.
Very interesting. Quality of the mentor depends on the quality of their stories. That's very powerful.
Very powerful.
Over to you, Mr. Amit Nagpal.
Well, a short story from, again, a real life incident. There's this doctor by the name of Dr. Asha Rawal who returned from the UK. She studied in the UK, came back to India, and is a very successful gynecologist in Delhi. And during my formative years, I recall so vividly, she had asked for some samples of my antibiotic, which was very expensive, for some poor patients. And so I was at her hospital and to deliver those samples to her. And I see her walking, doing the rounds of her patients along with her junior doctors. And she loves to wear a sari. She drapes her sari very well. And she was walking gracefully, and all of a sudden her stethoscope dropped onto the floor. The next thing that I saw was that she gracefully kneeled down on the floor, picked up the stethoscope, touched it, and kissed it. And I was mesmerized, and I still have goosebumps when I see that, when I remember that moment. What she conveyed to me was not only that she loves her profession, she loves her role, but she respects and because that's the tool, the stethoscope, that creates an identity for her, right? So respect your profession, whatever work you are doing, respect it, love it. As Dr. Akash says that, bring your passion into whatever you do. And once you bring in your passion and respect, the world will open up for you. That's the story I wanted to share.
But
John,
that
we
story
just have
gives-
5 more minutes.
5 more minutes?
Yeah, we just have 5 more minutes.
Okay. So, over to you, Dr. Parikh, your concluding remark for today's session.
I was asked a couple of weeks back that what would be the basic 2 or 3 things for success in life, especially for young people. So I'll say that here. For me, it is effort, gratitude, and values. If you were to pick only 3 things to ensure that you will do well for yourself and the society, are you perseverant and putting hard efforts? There is no substitute for that. No ChatGPT can take away that effort of writing your own thesis. You'll write rubbish first and then it will become a beautiful piece of art. And that's life. You have to have gratitude, the humility to understand no matter who I am, no matter what qualification I have, I know this much and not know so much more. I know my knowledge is a droplet in an ocean. What I don't know is the ocean. So have humility and the gratitude towards each and every step that you've taken. You can't get success if you don't have content. Restlessness with content can give you success, but not at the cost of content. And the last is values. I have not seen any person sustain success without values. If you are told that that is not possible and to break rules, break values, cross limit, do jugaad, do shortcuts, that can give you any kind of success, not true. A one-off incident here or there cannot take the meaning of values. I think talking about mental health is a step forward. Look at the diversity in the conversation from an actor, an author, a person's story from sales rep to a trainer, and of course an educationist. Strongest pillar, believe that one of our strongest pillars is education, which we need to focus upon. The fact that most of you here are readers, people who love literature, people who love art. Would we have thought 20 years back that a literature festival would have had a conversation on mental health? That's the way forward. And that's the steps that we continue taking forward. So my parting remarks would be, unmute yourself.
Thank you so much. I think we've run short of time. And it's been a wonderful panel. I loved the interaction. But being a school principal, these issues of mental health are very close to my heart. So thank you all. Thank you so much.
I'd like to invite Sujata Di and Shudhanshu Da to hand over a token of appreciation to our panelists.